Hey folks, I'm Watto and I wander about. That's Kim. Say hello, Kim.
Hello, Kim.
She wanders about as well. You join us today. We are in the Cotswolds again on another visit, a little day out. And today we're going to discover Chedworth Roman Villa. Let's see what we can see. Just come in, walked out through, and it takes you round a path which is one way at the moment for obvious reasons. They're going into what looks like a museum bit, so we'll show you around. Oh wow. This is where the mosaic floor is. This is fantastic. So, the grand dining room. It's expensive for a meal, isn't it? A grand, don't you think? Very good. This mosaic floor is stunning. And when you consider this was built 2 AD, they think evidence probably more developed by 4 AD. It's hard to comprehend, really, from that old. Pretty amazing how each individual tile is so small, and you can just only imagine the length of time it would have taken to produce a floor like this. Right, so this is the steam baths and the warm rooms. Have a quick look. Changing room. That's the warm room. And you can see all the underfloor heating. Considering how old and long ago we're talking, their technology was pretty good, don't you think? One plunge pool. We're just coming out of the what would have been the baths. We haven't had a bath, although it does say in there that people bathed together, Which sounds like a good idea to me, but apparently men and women bathe separately, so that's a shame. But they used to sit there and do business while they were in the bath. It's a good way of doing business, don't you think? Mm-hmm. Many a deal struck whilst bathing naked, talking to your business partner. Maybe that's the way forward. Over here we have got the boiler room, which serviced the underfloor heating, which we just showed you. What's left of the boiler room, but this would have been it. The fire would have been set down here, and obviously the heat would go through. Oh, they are now at a water shrine, which was called the Nymphaeum, and it's built over a pool fed by a natural spring, which still runs here today. So this is where they used to make offerings to the female spirits of the spring. Are you a female spirit of the spring?
Of course.
Marvellous. I better make an offering later. More money. Anyway, we'll give you a little look of the Nymphaeum. These are dry heat rooms, it says down here, which were very hot individual cubicles. So similar to what we would call a sauna rather than a steam room, I guess. And this is another plunge pool, cold plunge pool for after you've got nice and hot. Dive in here and get cold. Gonna plunge in. More examples of the underfloor heating. Well, what they're actually saying is this would have been a house of somebody that was extremely wealthy, so it would have either been something to do with the council towards Corinium, which is Cirencester, which isn't far from here, or you know, somebody that's pretty wealthy and can afford to entertain rich guests and important guests. I said, from about 4 AD, which is really difficult to comprehend how old this is, but it really is impressive that it's so much still here, and the National Trust have done a lot of good work keeping it this way. And you're in the middle of the quintessential Cotswolds, which I'll give you a little look at. Over here there's a tree stump on top of what looks like a stone, and apparently that represents the height of the earth's surface or ground surface before these ruins were discovered back in the 1860s. Been reading about what was going on in everyday life, and we've seen the latrine toilet, which was basically just a long bench with holes cut in it, and was a communal affair. So you sat there and did what you had to do whilst having a chat to the person next to you, and when you finished you were handed a stick by an attendant that had either moss on the end of it or a sponge, and you finished, you know, cleaning yourself afterwards with that, and then you handed the stick back. Sounds nice, doesn't it? It's also where the saying comes from of getting hold of the wrong end of the stick, because you wouldn't want to do that. Plenty of space around the place. It is nice and quiet. At the moment they're doing timed entries. I think it's half-an-hour slots you get at the moment, which is good. Plenty of things to look at if you want to bring the kids and teach them a little bit of history, and there's lots of picnic tables all laid out so you can bring your lunch and have a little sit and look at this gorgeous setting, as long as you get the weather like today, obviously. But yeah, it's really, really good. Really enjoying this. Well, once a year, it was once a year, wasn't it? Yeah, once a year they have to clean all the little tiles in the mosaics, and apparently it used to be done just by using a broom and giving them a sweep, and then using, what was it, diesel oil?
A bit of diesel oil.
Diesel oil, but apparently now, obviously, they've got a better way of doing it. They use what's it called?
Deionized water.
That's what I said. Which is obviously water that's had all the minerals taken out of it, because apparently it's the salts and what have you in the water that does the damage to the tiles. So it ain't just there and stays there. There's a lot of work goes into keeping this place looking almost like it would have when it was built. So the National Trust definitely do a lot of good work. Just keep places like this alive. Wooden slats on that building behind me is where all the mosaics are, what we showed you earlier on, and apparently the slats they're movable and they track round with the sun, just giving maximum protection to all the centuries year old stuff inside. Very clever. That was a Roman B. Do you know how I know it was a Roman B?
Oh.
Because it was buzzing in Latin.
Oh.
Obvious. Oh, this is fantastic. Another little hidden gem we found for you. What are you thinking of this? It's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've got like a audio thing that you can get, which is £1, which gives you lots of information as you walk around. There's plenty of signs as well to clue you up. Well worth a visit. I think so. Yeah.
I may.
Another little Cotswold gem.
It's definitely worth getting the audio because it gives you a lot of information.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Because you need a bit of background on it, really, don't you? Otherwise you're kind of wondering what each bit is. But yeah, it's really good. Hope you've enjoyed it. We have.
Yeah, definitely.
We've been blessed with the weather, which is which is better.
Gorgeous.
We've definitely enjoyed it, so I hope you have. And if you have, then smash that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you on our next one. Bye for now.
Bye bye.